September 11, 2001, is a date etched in our collective memory. I remember the morning vividly, the sun was shining, and life felt normal. Then, the unimaginable happened. Two planes crashed into the Twin Towers, transforming New York City into a scene of chaos and heartbreak. In just a few hours, nearly 3,000 lives were lost, and the world was forever changed. The aftermath was profound, fear gripped nations, and a sense of vulnerability settled in. We witnessed acts of heroism, first responders rushing into danger, strangers helping each other. It sparked a global response, reshaping policies, security measures, and international relations. This day taught us about resilience and unity, reminding us that even in the darkest moments, humanity can shine through. September 11th is not just a tragedy, it's a testament to our strength and the enduring spirit of those we lost. The aftermath of 9/11 was more than just a geopolitical shift, it triggered a financial aftershock that transformed the business landscape. Suddenly, companies were forced to adapt to a new reality where security was paramount. This led to the rise of surveillance capitalism, where data became the new currency. Businesses began to monitor consumer behavior like never before, tailoring their strategies to predict and influence our choices. Entire industries were reinvented, think travel and hospitality, where security protocols became a core part of the customer experience. The way we conduct business today, from e-commerce to risk management, is a direct response to that day. It's fascinating how a tragedy reshaped not just our worldviews but the very fabric of global commerce, forever altering the rules of engagement in the marketplace. On one of history's darkest days, the world witnessed a seismic shift that rippled through economies and reshaped corporate policies forever. The events that unfolded not only devastated lives but also forced businesses to rethink their strategies. Companies learned the hard way that resilience and adaptability were no longer optional, they became essential. In the aftermath, we saw the rise of corporate social responsibility as businesses began to recognize their role in society. The focus shifted from mere profit to a commitment to community and sustainability. This transformation laid the groundwork for the modern business landscape, where ethical practices and transparency are now paramount. Today, as we navigate a complex global economy, we can trace many of our current corporate values back to that pivotal moment. The lessons learned from tragedy have become the foundation for a more accountable and resilient business world, reminding us that even in darkness, there's potential for growth and change. Before September 11th, airport security felt like a breeze. You could stroll in just minutes before your flight, barely breaking a sweat. Minimal checks meant you could carry almost anything on board, imagine bringing a full-sized shampoo bottle. But then everything changed. The attacks shook the world, and suddenly, the Transportation Security Administration was born. Overnight, security became a fortress. Long lines, body scans, and those infamous liquid restrictions turned air travel into a meticulous process. Now, we arrive hours early, stripping off shoes and belts, all in the name of safety. It's a far cry from the casual days of boarding a plane with just a smile and a carry-on. New regulations transformed the landscape of security across the globe. It wasn't just airports that felt the impact, corporations everywhere had to rethink their entire approach to safety. Suddenly, the demand for surveillance technology skyrocketed. Companies scrambled to implement advanced biometrics and robust cybersecurity measures. This surge in need birthed a trillion-dollar security industry, thriving on innovation and urgency. From facial recognition to AI-driven threat detection, the tools we use today are a direct response to a world that demands safety and vigilance. It's fascinating to see how these changes have reshaped our daily lives, making security not just a priority, but a booming business. After September 11th, the U.S. government enacted the Patriot Act, giving intelligence agencies sweeping powers to access personal data. But what most people overlook is that this access didn't just benefit the government. Corporations jumped on the bandwagon, using this data to track our online behavior, target ads, and even influence our choices. Suddenly, our privacy became a commodity, traded in the name of security. Data brokers emerged, profiting from our information while we remained blissfully unaware. It's a double-edged sword, while we gained security, we lost a piece of our autonomy. The lines between protection and intrusion blurred, and now, we must ask ourselves, at what cost? Surveillance has woven itself into the fabric of our daily lives, and it all began after September 11th. In the name of security, corporations started amassing vast troves of user data, transforming our online interactions into a goldmine for tech giants. Every click, every search, every like, it's all meticulously tracked. This data-driven economy we live in? It's a direct result of that shift. Think about it, the ads that pop up, the product recommendations that seem eerily spot on, they're not just coincidences. They're the product of algorithms fueled by our own information. What once was a quest for safety has morphed into a relentless pursuit of profit, where our privacy is the price we pay. We've traded our data for convenience, and in doing so, we've reshaped the very landscape of commerce and communication. The immediate financial impact of 9/11 was nothing short of catastrophic. The stock market took a nosedive, with airlines and insurance companies bearing the brunt of the fallout. Billions were wiped off the market in mere hours, and the fear was palpable. But amidst the chaos, a fascinating shift began to unfold. Investors started to pivot towards sectors like defense and cybersecurity, recognizing the need for heightened security in a post-9/11 world. Suddenly, companies focused on technology and surveillance became hot commodities. It was a stark reminder that even in the darkest times, new opportunities can emerge, reshaping the landscape of investment for years to come. I remember when shopping meant heading to the local store, navigating crowded aisles, and waiting in long lines. But then, something shifted. Traditional brick-and-mortar businesses started to struggle as online shopping quietly gained momentum. It was like watching a slow tide turn. Investors began to see the potential of digital platforms, pouring resources into e-commerce. Suddenly, giants like Amazon and PayPal emerged, reshaping our economy. Convenience became king, and our shopping habits transformed overnight. Now, we can browse, compare, and purchase with just a click. The dominance of these digital platforms isn't just a trend, it's a revolution that's changed how we live, work, and shop.